If your baby is not sitting up at 13 months old, or if your baby is not sitting up at 14 months old, and you want to know how you can teach your baby to sit up, then this is the right video for you and you're in the right place. Because if your baby keeps falling over at this point and you are still struggling to try to figure out what you can do for your little one, then that's definitely a situation that needs looking into, because baby is kind of old at this point and definitely should be able to at least sit up on their own. So if that's you, you're in the right place watching the right video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Charik Gordon. I've been a pediatric physical therapist for well over 25 years. I've spent all my time working in living room floors with real families, helping real babies overcome real developmental challenges. And so that's what I want to share with you. That's what you're going to get from my channel. Now, let's get into today's topic, which is trying to figure out what you can do to help your baby be able to start sitting up. Now, I like to break things down into 3 simple categories so that it makes it simple for parents to understand. I call this my Baby Master PT sitting triangle, where the 3 things I want you to focus on are a strong trunk, which will be the base of your triangle. You need to have a strong trunk in order for baby to be able to maintain their balance. The next thing you want to be able to look at is protective reactions. It's not so much baby falling over, but can baby protect themselves when they do fall over, when they lose their balance? Can baby put their hand out and protect themselves? The next thing you want to do is look at your baby's ability to shift their body weight from one side to the next and then come back to center and maintain their balance. So keeping these 3 things in mind, let's go ahead and move on to the 5 things I want to share with you. The first one is baby core trunk strength and stability. So again, I said, if your baby is not sitting up by 13 months, these are some of the things I want you to focus on as you're working with your little one and as you're going through doing these activities. I like to strengthen baby's trunk by having baby do a bunch of sit-ups on my large therapy ball. And what I like to do is, for the babies who are struggling to sit up straight, you'll notice what I'm doing with him. I'm kind of deliberately rolling him off to one side. Notice where I have my hands. I have my hands on his hips so that I'm not supporting his trunk. I'm letting him come flat back on the ball, and then I'm cueing him to come upright and try to do a sit-up. He is struggling to do the sit-up coming directly upright, so I'm letting him roll off towards one side. And I find that doing a twisted sit-up makes it a little bit easier for baby to be able to come up and actually maintain that position. You notice what I'm doing, what I just did right there with my thumbs. I use my thumbs to poke him in his tummy and kind of stimulate those trunk muscles to get those abdominal muscles working and activated. I'm bringing my face close to his to cue him to have a little bit of fun while we're doing our sit-ups. Bouncing baby up and down just keeps it light, keeps it fun. You don't want to be working baby so hard to where baby gets frustrated and baby doesn't want to do the exercise or do the activities. And so you want to take little breaks, do some fun stuff with baby, make some silly faces, and then do a couple of sit-ups. A lot of times parents will ask me, well, how many sit-ups should I do? And how often? Do as many sit-ups as your baby can before baby kind of conks out, and do them, break them up 3 to 4 times throughout the course of the day so that baby, you're not trying to do 20, 30 sit-ups with your little one all at once. You want to be able to scatter them throughout the course of your day and do them a couple of sit-ups at a time. If you do 5 or 6 sit-ups and baby gets tired, that's totally fine. Come back to it later on in the day. The next activity I want to share with you is weight shifting. Put your baby to sit up. Notice I have him seated up against the wall so that if he loses his balance and falls to one side, he'll fall backwards onto the wall. And what I'm trying to get him to do is to shift his body weight and rotate where he's coming across midline. And so notice what I'm doing with him. I'm having him reach across his body so that he is shifting his body weight from side to side. Now you can see I'm giving him all the toys on one side, but but I have the container off to the other side, and notice what he's doing. When he rotates his body, he's putting that right hand down to prop himself up a little bit as he shifts his body weight. And so this is a good, simple way to work on rotation, trunk rotation, as baby is shifting his body weight and crossing midline to get a nice rotation kind of workout as baby continues to play and just putting toys into an open container. This is a very simple activity for your little one to do, and babies have a lot of fun with it. What you do to one side, you want to make sure you do to the opposite side, and so you want to get baby to rotate his body towards his opposite side as he's picking the toys up, picking the pieces up, and putting them into an open container. And now baby is rotating, baby is shifting his body weight, getting a nice trunk rotation, a nice trunk workout, and continuing to play with the toys as baby begins to develop greater and greater trunk stability. Now, the next activity is protective reactions. Protective reactions towards one side. Now, you notice what I'm doing with him. I have him sitting on the ground, and I am cueing him to prop himself up on one side while he's playing with the toy, and I'm using my hand to hold the opposite leg. That will help him to activate the muscles on the side of his trunk to be able to bring his body back up into midline so that he can continue to prop himself up and play. But this is a way of helping him develop those protective extension reactions that we talked about, where he can put his hand down and prop himself up and actually push his body back up. What we do to one side, we want to practice to the other side. So I'm deliberately shifting him, making him off balance to the other side, and I'm showing him how to put that hand down and prop himself up over towards the other side. So this is a nice activity you can do with your baby. I like it because you're using a cube that's about 6 inches up off the ground, and this is to get baby to start propping himself up to one side and then tipping his balance off towards the opposite side and repeating that and continuing to work with your little one. The next activity we're going to do is what's called transitional movements, where this is where you're going to get baby to start transitioning from sitting and actually moving on to crawling. So what I'm doing is I'm having him play with a little toy, but I'm positioning both of his legs off to the same side of his body. This is a position called side sitting. And so I'm using this position to curve his trunk in a little bit of a weird way where both of his legs are off to one side, and he has to use a lot of his core trunk muscles in order to be able to maintain his balance while he's practicing and reaching for toys. And you can see he is working his trunk quite a bit. Now, if you notice, all of these activities have gotten progressively more challenging for your little one as he's playing on the ground in sitting. And this is by design, just making the activities incrementally more challenging for your baby so that you're continuing to strengthen and challenge those core trunk muscles. And essentially, you're going to toggle between working back and forth between these different activities as baby continues to work and build greater and greater trunk strength and stability and continue to work in these transition movements. The last thing I like to focus on, and I would encourage you to focus on, is your baby's practice environment. I like to make sure that baby is using a nice, soft set of these interlocking mats. Sometimes I'll use my little mat where I just roll it out and spread it on the ground, but you want to have baby on a soft surface so that if baby loses her balance, baby is not going to hurt herself. Baby is going to be able to fall over, tip over, and still be okay. Now, This is a nice mat that I like to use, the interlocking ones, and I'm going to put the link for it down below. And what I like to do is just have baby seated in between my legs, facing away from my body, and playing on the mat as baby is continuing to work on this environment and be able to play in comfort, working on keeping her body upright. I give baby little toys to hold and play with so that I can keep her hands occupied and have her toggle around in this position and maintain her balance as I'm trying to challenge her core, trunk strength, and stability, and be able to move and toggle around and play around in this position. I like to have baby practice different kinds of positions so that baby can work in this position. Now, before I forget, I created a free milestone checklist for you guys that you can download to your computer, print it out, slap it on your refrigerator, and have it there as a reference so you can keep track of your baby's milestones from month to month. It covers all of the milestones from 0 to 12 months, and this is a great way to know where your baby should be and when to reach out to get some additional support for your little one. So print it out, slap it on the refrigerator, and use it to help you know where your baby should be from month to month. Now, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you are watching this on the replay, definitely drop them in the comments. I read every single comment, I answer them, and some of them I actually turn them into these lives. I find that answering parents' questions is a great way to use these lives and do these lives so that parents can get the information that they need. Okay, I will see you in the next one, my friends, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Have a good one.